The Ethics Committee's report on former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz remains hidden from the public this afternoon. Republicans blocked two Democratic measures that would have made the investigation into alleged sexual misconduct and drug use public. Only one Republican, Congressman Tom McClintock, voted alongside Democrats for its release. Gaetz denies the allegations against him. Let's bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, walk us through last night's vote and any reaction you're hearing on the Hill.
Yeah, of course, it's always worth emphasizing that Matt Gaetz has unequivocally and consistently denied these allegations, but these allegations continue to cause a stir in Congress. Democrats forced the issue. They tried to get a vote in the U.S. House that would require, by the House's mandate, that the Ethics Committee release what it has and what it's found on Matt Gaetz through its Ethics Committee investigation. You mentioned Tom McClintock of California was that one Republican you see who voted along with Democrats to do this, but that's not sufficient. The Republicans have the majority, and they're not going to force the Ethics Committee to do anything it won't do on its own. And that's where the rubber hits the road, because the Ethics Committee met again yesterday on Capitol Hill and again decided not to move forward with a release. You need a majority to do anything in these committees, and the Ethics Committee is evenly split. Same number of Republicans as there are Democrats. Somebody's got to go over and join the other side to force action. At this point, there's an impasse because the Republicans say Matt Gaetz is no longer a member of Congress outside of their jurisdiction, so what they have on him should stay bottled up.
Scott, Democrats narrowly flipped the last uncalled seat in California this week, so this gives Speaker Johnson a razor-thin majority. What are the margins, and how will this impact the GOP's agenda?
This is going to be a big political story over the first few months of 2025, as if we needed more big political stories over the first few months of 2025. But look at that. You can subtract 3 from the red column because 2 members of the new House majority are going to join the Trump administration, barring a surprise, and another one of them is Matt Gaetz, who is now gone. So 217 to 215 means there is no margin for error, Lindsay. You can't lose one vote to the Democrats, or then it's a tie, and whatever you're trying to do fails. So as Republicans try to navigate that, they have to push through whatever agenda President-elect Trump wants in those first 100 days with only one vote that can kill any initiative, which gives everybody veto power. And you empower House members with veto power. It's unpredictable what happens next.
Your beat's going to be busy. All right, California Senator-elect Adam Schiff was asked about the idea of blanket pardons from President Biden for opponents or perceived enemies of President-elect Trump. Here's how he responded.
I've spoken on this before. I don't think the idea of a blanket pardon of some kind is a good idea, and I would recommend against it.
So the top, he said he doesn't think it's a good idea. He'd recommend against it. What's his thinking behind that posture?
That it's a bad precedent. You start giving blanket pardons for people who didn't commit crimes. What does that empower the next president and the president after that to do? To weaponize that in some way, shape, or form. There was no criminal misconduct that Mr. Schiff has been found to engage in. But it's also not happening in a vacuum. Donald Trump has posted on social media that he should investigate or prosecute the January 6th Select Committee, of which Adam Schiff was a member. That being said, we brought our question to Adam Schiff's House Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries of New York, to ask if he thought it was reasonable to ask for blanket pardons. And he said House Democrats will not be intimidated by anybody, and that there's been no conversations with the White House about getting pardons for House members, Mr. Schiff or otherwise.
Scott MacFarlane, thank you.